Dgenz Crypto Daily episode 34 is coming right up.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. That's right. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Let's go. Dgenz Crypto Daily. News in the code. Riding on the blockchain. Heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying. Rugs are in the air. Chart gave us a meaning to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon. And ether's on fire. Hold us in the storm. Lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead. Watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane. Never gonna hit them slow. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Oh, yeah. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now. Trading is wild and free. DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight. Dgenz Crypto Daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Oh, yeah. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free. DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Velo to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight. Dgenz Crypto Daily, fortunes you can see. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds. Digital harmony. Oh, yeah. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free.
Yes, I do. I have you wild and free. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Dgenz Crypto Daily, episode 34 on this pretty nice Wednesday. How are you doing? I am feeling great these days because every day we move forward in time, I know it's coming. I know what to expect. I know good times are coming. So if you're riding with me and all of our Dgenz friends, you know how we were feeling because good times are around the corner. If you're new to the stream, this is your opportunity to follow me on Twitter. And as well, you can go ahead and follow our sister account, Dgenz NFT. We're an awesome community on Solana that tries to beat this crypto world together. You know, try to lift ourselves up. If we're down, if we're getting drained, if we are having trouble with something, you know, we try to help each other out. So if you are new to crypto or trying to figure out this crypto thing, come join us. Come see us in our Discord. And our crypto section is actually gated by our NFTs, but our NFTs are super cheap right now. As well, if you are following our calls, we are partnered with Blowfin. You can scan that QR code. You can get 10% off on all of your trades. I mean, we had some bangers yesterday. Specifically, we called Say. I think that trade netted like 500%. I believe we posted this in our Discord yesterday. But if you're following along, you're definitely making money. So anyway, you get 10% off on all your trades. So scan that link. So what's in the world of crypto today? Looks like the US money supply approaches new heights as financial assets reach record levels, right? That is a concern, a large macro concern. Why? Because at some point, we have to rectify the supply issue, right? The higher the supply, the lower the value of fiat is, right? The purchasing power goes down, which means the underlying assets that are based on fiat go up. And this is why we see a lot of these assets are moving up another level, because the value of them against that dollar is much, much higher. So we read along. It says in August alone, the M2 money supply rose nearly 1%, and the Fed since has trimmed interest rates 50 basis points, with what looks like another 50 basis point rate cut coming in November. Yeah, I fully expected a 2.5 cut. I think a lot of us actually expected 2.5 cut in September, and then another 50 cut in October. But it looks like it's going to be accelerated at this point. Aggressive monetary easing by China and the U.S. Federal Reserve has driven asset price increases, with cryptocurrencies leading the charge since the recent FOMC meeting. The growth of the M2 money supply, with the CAGR of 7% in the past 5 years, has been closely linked to the performance of the S&P 500 and other assets, underscoring the critical role of liquidity in driving market performance, of course. So we kind of expected this. This is why gold is outperforming anything right now. The value of fiat is much lower than the value of gold, right? And so, yeah, we can easily see gold, I think, hit 3,000 at some point. Right now it's at 2,670. And so we'll see how that goes moving forward, especially if we have more interest rates to be cut, which means dollar is cheaper, which decentivizes people to hold dollar, right? Because if you have a higher interest rate, right, the lending rate will be more favorable for those who actually hold US dollar. And say, for example, you got $1 million in your account, right? And the lending rate is at, say, 5%, and the bank is going to give you maybe 4%. Of course, you're going to hold that, right? As that gets trimmed, you're less incentivized to hold that fiat. You're going to move it into appreciating assets. And this is why, for example, gold goes up, why asset classes, all types go up when we have cut rates. We will at some point get to a situation where we're going to get more inflation to creep back up, maybe in about 3 to 4 years. So we'll keep an eye on the actual bond rates to see whether or not they start to creep back up. They're usually a leading indicator for a lot of these things. Okay. What else do we have today? Oh, options are expiring this Friday. A lot of options are expiring this Friday. So the Bitcoin max pain level is 59,000, which could prove to be the drop we were expecting to about 60,000. I don't know if we get to 59, but I think there might be some fuckery coming up the next couple of days. Also, I think ETH options are expiring as well. See, as of writing, 90,000 Bitcoin options contracts worth 5.8 billion were due for settlement, alongside 1.9 billion of Ether options. So there's going to be a lot of that. You know, if traders are assuming these options will be, they will be settled, right? That means the assets most likely will dump to offset that, right? Because if you're going to settle that contract at, say, 59,000 and Bitcoin price is 61,000, all of a sudden you have a $2,000 profit per Bitcoin. So you would settle that, get your Bitcoin, sell it on the market immediately, which happens more frequently. And so this is why the price action will go down. I don't know if we're going to get to 59,000. We might actually hold that level. But if we look at Bitcoin, so let's roll into Bitcoin price action. This is on the daily scale. We did talk about the possibility of this MACD turning sour on us, right? Something like this, right? We're getting into this third section, right? This third section of momentum. And so I think there's a chance of us dropping again to about, I don't know, about 55. That's a little too much, but 59 was a good stop. Like, let's see, what is that? That's 59.8. That's a 200 EMA on the daily. On the weekly, I think that 60.5 was a spot. So if we're to look at this again, right? It is printing at Joji. That could be a reversal candle. So if it holds that, we might drop back a bit again to this level. That's 61, or just to touch back on the 21 EMA is about there, 61, I guess. Again, we're seeing this pinch happening. The momentum's still pretty good. I think it gives us about a week before we get into October, and then we get really excited, right? If you guys remember this chart, this is the Bitcoin monthly returns chart. If you guys focus on October, right? I mean, look at that. So on average, we're looking at 22% in October for Bitcoin in the last 11 years. So that means if we start the October at where we are now, roughly about 61,000, 62,000, then we can get to 74, which will be the top line right here. So at this level right here, that will be in line with what we've seen so far in October. So we can probably drop back here, and then October comes, we get up to here, right? We tread here maybe for a couple months till December, maybe try another dump, and then we definitely get into the new year with a massive pump. Because at that point, we will be crossing over probably here, and then we will be getting into this action here, into the new year. Okay. Forgot to mention, if you are following along during the stream, you can easily make a comment in the stream by simply getting into the chat, the stream's chat, and say, hello, chart. Just like that. So if you have a question about anything, or if you have any request for me to look at, like a token request, you can put it in there. I try to read them all. Okay, so take a look at some indicators before we move on to tokens. Tether dominance, still healthy, right? You want it to dump this way. It fits our narrative, right, so far. Even though it's producing a little bit of a doji, right? This pinch is happening, whether bears like it or not. And once we get into this area right here, it's going to be super, super bullish. So we're focusing on that when we move forward. Total 3. We nearly had a breakout. I think we were starting to get a breakout yesterday. The pinch is happening right here on the weekly, right? These EMAs are super healthy too. These two EMAs, the 200 and the 365, right? They're not pinching. They're not together. They're in perfect size. Normally, we'd use the 200 on the weekly scale to see if there's any resistances or supports, right? So if there was a drop back of any kind, we look for that to be the spot, right? It coincides with this section here. So if we do have a drop at some point between now and the start of October, even a couple of days into October, we can drop back there and then immediately pump out of that. It looks like also there's this, looks like a cup and handle formation, right? And normally we usually have a massive breakout once it's supported, right? Perfect support here, triple support there, and then we get a breakout. So I don't think we do have a drop coming. I actually feel like we're going to break out sooner than later. And all depends on what happens with the dominance chart for Bitcoin, right? Because if the dominance keeps rising, that means, you know, Bitcoin is moving up much faster than the altcoins. And I don't think it's happening right now. As you guys can see here, right? We are at a resistance. We tapped the resistance last week, that red resistance, which is a 365 EMA. And now we're producing this pinch, right here. And this pinch will eventually start to go this way. And then, you know, alts are definitely going to make a move. So we're very close. Very, very close. Before I go any further, I want to know from you, what is your expectation for this upcoming bull run? What are you holding, and what token out of that holdings you expect to have a really, really good run? Post it in the comment section. I'm really curious. I'll tell you mine. I firmly believe that Velo is going to melt faces. I've done enough fundamental research into it to understand the size of this project, the size of this demand for the project. And so this is why we talk about it all the time, like all the time. We try to make sure that we're on top of it all the time, right? We hold it in multiple funds. I hold Velo personally. I've shielded to a whole bunch of people already to hold it. And we talked about it over a year ago, actually. You know, and more recently, what happened with Velo, they partnered with a market banker, which is exactly what we need during the bull run, you know, to keep those prices afloat. And even on the weekly scale, when we look at this chart, technically speaking, it looks amazing, right? Like this crossover happened in the bullish territory. We're going to get this extension now. Probably going to get it up to here, right? It's going to be fascinating to see how far it goes. Now, can it get to $1? Depends. Maybe the market maker gets us there, right? You know, you can see the EMAs are starting to form up on the weekly. This is the 200 EMA at 22 cents, right? We have some daily EMAs we can always look at, like if we go to daily scale. So 15 cents, this is the 3-year EMA, right? And then most importantly, when we look at EMAs in general, are they acting as supports or resistances, right? Normally price action has to be above them in order to be bullish. If it's bearish, they're underneath, okay? So while we're waiting for price action to move up, we know that we're in a confident spot because we're above these lines, right? There will be some selling, right? As we see, like now, there's some selling, but it's not going to be long-lived because, again, we're approaching October, and the overall feel for Velo seems to be really, really positive. And so I'm really excited to see what happens moving forward in the next 6 to 8 months. I know a lot of people that hold Velo are really, really happy, even though we know we're not at, say, like 5 cents, 10 cents, whatever. These projects move very quickly in bullish scenarios, really, really quickly. And so, you know, when we get bullish, when we get those days where it's an incredible volume, you'll know. And plus, like, there's a chance that Binance lists it in the exact moment that we turn bullish. Okay, so like imagine, you know, we're bullish in October, Binance comes along and says, yeah, we're listing Velo, we're open trading tomorrow. This would just go like that, right? So really looking forward to that event. I'm sure a lot of people are as well. Opulus has been requested. a couple times. Let me show you what I mean. I get comments sometimes and I look at them. So let's look at Opulus. All right. So again, we talked about it before. This price action is oscillating, right? And so we're going to get this breakthrough, right? There will be some selling at these levels here. And if we do have some selling, there's going to be some rejections, most likely about here, right? That looks like to be 47 cents, right? Or maybe at this number 2 fib at 57 cents. But normally we try to be along this line. And then when we get going, normally we pop over that line and then we try to do a W out of that line. And then we get into some really, really good action, which is trying to sustain that run into the upper section of that previous run. So previous run will determine where we stop, right? Because once we find out that there's resistances here, right? We can assume then people will start to sell here. The cool kids call it the supply zone, right? So that will be where would be selling a lot of stuff at those resistances. But there's plenty of upside to Opulus. We already know this. You can see by the volume alone that when we do have some good news, or if the news is timed properly into the market, volumes come back, and we move from 4 cents to almost over 8 cents, almost 9 cents. So we know volume can come at any point. And once Opulus is trending on CoinGecko, like, you're already too late. I have to repeat myself. If you are seeing Opulus trending on CoinGecko, you're obviously too late. So get into positions now. Like, get into while it's at 7.6 cents. Like, I'll give you an example, right? So we talked about the Say trade. I did mention many times before, is when it was down to here, I said it's a perfect trade. Why? It's because it's holding this level very well. And even though it has a small resistance here, it's going to pop over that resistance because of just the volume alone is going to come in. And we were seeing volume increase right there, much higher than the average daily volume. All right. And then all we needed is some good positive movement in crypto to make that go over. So once we had that, it was an easy pop over that EMA. And I personally started scaling out because we started reaching this section here. Okay. It may eventually get to, like, I don't know, say 55 cents over the next couple of days. It could. But it's a good spot to scale out to see whether or not you can see that level again. So 41 cents, maybe 40 cents, right? There are many other better opportunities if you're just, trading like I am. Now, if you're just holding for the bull run, then I don't even have to show you any of this, because you don't even care about this. You care about, am I going to get, if I'm going to get like $4 from Say, right? Am I going to get something like this where it pops up here? $5. Yeah, you could very, very easily, right? But we're talking months from now. So if you're a swing trader like myself, you like these setups. And then when you see them, you take advantage of the 30-40% that you just got. You move along, right? In our Discord, I posted a couple trades that I kind of like. I like Pyre, where it's sitting right now. Very similar trade to Say, in that, it's providing us a triple bottom here, although it's not perfect. Like, it's not... It should have been really much lower. Okay, I can't move that. But it should have been much lower than that. And so now we're getting these supports here. Guys are coming in here. It's going to test this line right here. That's about $3.80. And then if we have momentum, it's going to pop right over, just like how Say did. And that is basically almost 100%. That's what I'm looking at. A lot of other really interesting moves and setups that I saw over the last couple of days. This one's pretty good too. It's Unison. It's a decentralized exchange. And so like I posted this to be the very strong resistance, and it will be tested again at some point. So most likely we have this pop is going to pop up to here and stop. Right? And then stop from there and probably check in here and then go back up. All right. For these moves that drop so far down, we need time to get back up again. There's no straight arrow back up, right? It's not like you come down here and you go straight back up. It doesn't work like that. So for Unison, for example, we need to get up here first, get up here, and then tread a little bit, and then back up. So it's probably going to take some time. So if you're in ZCX, make sure that you have some expectations set for yourself, right? Maybe hold or add to your position here. Maybe scalp some here. All right. Jupiter popped, but not as much as I expected. So we're not there yet. Okay. Let me remove some of these for you. So I expect Jupiter obviously to do wonders this bull run. I've mentioned it many times. I'll quickly say it. It's either the leading or the second leading exchange, decentralized exchange in the world, right? And just by metrics alone. And so they're adding a lot of features as they move along. They're, launching projects. They have active staking rewards. So this is just going to be an easy play for me. I'm in Jupiter as well. I know a lot of people are. Just hold through. Just wait it until you get your final move out of this long consolidation. Again, this is wave one. This is to wave two. We want to get out of this wave one and wave two section into wave three, which is here. 3 is up here. Okay. And we want like $7, $10, right? Because I do expect Jupiter to do like big numbers. If we take a look at Jupiter on CoinGecko, its market cap is only 1.2 million. Sorry, billion. And so let's do 30 billion as a measure of where we expect Jupiter to be at the end of the bull run, right? As long as they don't dilute more and add more into the circulating supply, that's an easy 25x, So do we go up to $25 in Jupiter? I say, why not? So just keep an eye on it. Add whenever you can. Use this opportunity to add to your position. It's like a gift right now. Right? So a lot of good things from Jupiter. Again, if you guys have any requests at any point, I will take a look at them. Either, offline, I'll put it on the stream next time I'm on. What are my thoughts on JLP during a bull market? I believe that's like a liquidity pool token. I don't know what it does. If it's maybe like a governance token. I do know that it is traded. Right? So I guess Bybit has, that's Jupiter, my bad. Yeah, okay. This is what it looks like. So I don't know. I'll be honest with you. If you guys are trading this, great, but I really have no desire to have any involvement of holding JLPs. Just strictly Jupiter, right? And that's more than enough for me. But if you're looking at it from a technical standpoint, it's at a resistance, right? Triple resistance here. Probably drops back to this level, 317 or whatever, maybe even down to the bottom, right? And then tries again. I think this is just going to oscillate like this for a while. All right, we're up against the time. It's a couple minutes past 30 minutes. I can take on one more request. Firestarter. I got to find out what that is first. Let me see if that works. Firestarter. I guess this is it. Flame. Okay. All right. Wow. So this token has been in circulation since 22. So you can say that it hasn't had a bull run yet, which is a positive, right? Then you got to ask a lot of other questions like, okay, what are the tokenomics like? Is it being supported, right, by markets? It looks like only KuCoin has it listed. If we go to CoinGecko, right, look up. There. Okay, so it's $1 million in market cap. Trading volume is not bad. Circulating supply seems to be about 68% diluted. It's not bad. You want to see market support? You only get KuCoin, QuickSwap, and Ascendex. It's not a lot. So you got to be careful, especially because you got to look at for volume. If you have volume at 46,000 on KuCoin, you got to be careful. I'll give you an example. I was trying to trade into a coin yesterday, and I just couldn't do it. There were too many bots, and I couldn't buy without moving the price much. And every time I would buy, it would move up 1%. And so I just stopped buying it altogether. I said, I can't do it. And so you got to be careful when you have low liquidity levels on exchanges. You got to be very careful, and you got to be super patient to get in and out. And so I think with Flame, you got to be careful with that. So if you're just trading it, just sake of trading it, I mean, it's not a bad trade if you look at it from that perspective, right? I mean, you can probably test this low, this upper wick here at 14 cents. That's a nice 7x, or 6.5x, right? It probably comes down to here, 34. I mean, this is the problem with some of these projects. You know, you can get lucky, right? You can spend like $1,000 and get 34,000 out of them. But you can also get only like, maybe 1,500 with a lot of grief. So it's all up to you what your risk tolerance is overall, if it's great or not. It's all up to you. But if you hold some right now, again, you want to get out at least here. That'll be the first stop. The second stop will be about here. Okay. Okay. Well, that takes us to the end of the stream. Thank you again for joining me for episode 34. If you find this helpful at all to anybody, retweet it, repost it, reshare it, do whatever, but try to help somebody out. At the end of the day, we're trying to make as much money as possible together and see the other side of the bull run safely. So let's do it. On that note, thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. That's right. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Let's go. Dgenz Crypto Daily. News in the code. Riding on a blockchain. Heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying. Rugs are in the air. Try give us a minute to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon. And Ether's on fire. Hold us in the storm. Lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead. Watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane. Never gonna hit them slow. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now. Trading is wild and free. DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping.
Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets ebb and flow. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto there's the key. Stay up on your game now, charts got you wild and free.
Farms are lush, stinking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets ebb and flow. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see.
Fortunes you can see.
Mining all those diamonds, digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto there's the key. Stay up on your game now, charts got you wild and free.